Aiy everyone, welcome to Eden's Secret. My name is Karen and I'm an English professional soap maker. You might have seen some of these viral soap art videos on YouTube from channels such as 5 Minute Crafts, Blossom and Craft Factory with up to 40 million views respectively. I'm about to attempt to make some of them and make some soap packs of my own. Can I pull them off or should they be debunked? I'm about to attempt the cinnamon roll soap, the fried egg soap, the real honey soap and the aloe vera soap plus my own. I hummed and hawed about doing a video like this and I thought, where would I even get an aloe vera plant where I live, because I've never seen one. Then last week I went into a local store and right there in front of me was an aloe vera plant and I thought this had to be a sign. Now I'm going to be giving away some of the soaps that you see in this video, so don't forget to subscribe, like, share and place a comment down below and I'll choose from the comments a winner in about a month's time. First up is the cinnamon roll soap. Now I saw this one on the Blossom channel and this one has 17 million views. Chop up the melt and pour soap, which incidentally is Stephensons crystal melt and pour soap. Chop it into nice small pieces so it melts quicker. Pop it into a heat safe jug, glass or plastic. Now you're going to need some tin foil, and with that tin foil you need to make a tin foil tray mould. Great easy way to make a mould that is not going to cost a fortune, and you'll notice there's a lot of folding and unfolding going on. But it does work really successfully actually. So there's no debunking here on the tray mould. Now you'll notice I placed a slit in the side here, but I thought that's probably not a good idea because the soap may leak out of the bottom, so don't use any scissors to cut a slit. I found a different way without putting slits in, as you can see here, to do the corners. And I'm just putting sellotape on there just to hold it in place. And then just tighten up the edges by pulling them. And there we are. So once your soap is melted, add some titanium dioxide to your melt and pour, or you actually can buy melt and pour that's already opaque white. So if you want to save this step, just buy the white melt and pour soap. Give that a mix in. I'm actually using a coffee frother here. But you can actually just stir the titanium dioxide in with a spoon. But because this is a new tool, I couldn't wait to use it. I actually really like using it. I love the sound of it and everything. Now, rather than adding real cinnamon, I added bronze mica to my soap base, and I give that a mix in. It's not suggested really that you put cinnamon in soap, but it is okay if you're just going to use it for washing your hands. I wouldn't suggest that you use cinnamon soap with real cinnamon in for the body or the face, but it actually is really good for the hands. Gets rid of lots of smelly things like onions. So pour your melted soap into your homemade tinfoil tray, and before you allow that to set, you're going to sprinkle on some bronze mica. This is in place of the cinnamon that Blossom used on their video. And just sieve that all over the top. It's a little bit messy doing this. It didn't look messy on the Blossom video, but it does get all over your hands, and I would presume the cinnamon will just be the same. So now that your soap is softly set, which literally just took a few minutes, that's all, unmold that. If you can, put it on a wooden chopping board and it'll stop the bottom cooling off too quickly. Take a pizza cutter or a knife if you don't have a pizza cutter and cut that long ways down the soap. Now start to roll up the soap immediately. I learned that you need to do this as quickly as possible to keep those cinnamon rolls nice and tight and so they stay together. You'll notice the second one, because I am actually rolling it up on a granite worktop, it cooled down a little bit too fast, so it shows you how quickly that cooled down. So I had a little bit of trouble getting it rolled up nice and tight, and you can see the difference between the two. Just spraying some rubbing alcohol into an olive pot, adding some brown oxide instead of cinnamon again. And using a painting brush, we're just painting some fake cinnamon on the top of the fake cinnamon roll that's made from soap. Now we're just going to, we've got some more melt and pour soap in the pot. We're adding titanium dioxide again with a pipette, giving it a stir with the pipette, and we're just going to suck some soap up into the pipette and put some icing drizzle over the top, well, fake icing drizzle over the top of that fake cinnamon roll. Warning, do not eat, they do not taste good. Remember that old saying, washing your mouth out with soap? I don't suggest it. Okay, we're now on to the fried egg soap. This was also in the Blossom video with 17 million views. Using half a bath bomb mould, I made some orange soap, poured it into the bath bomb mould, and I used another metal bath bomb mould underneath, as you can see, just to hold that upright, so because a rounded bottom mould is going to tilt to one side. Unmould your soap egg yolk, and then in a jug pour in some more melted soap, add some titanium dioxide to that. I'm using a geode mould, but you can actually also make a geode mould from tin foil. Just pour in your melted white soap and then add your yolk. So simple and so effective. Next up, we are on to our honey soap. So using some melt and pour soap, quite a lot because I actually did make quite a lot of this one. Add 5 to 10% real honey. I don't suggest adding too much honey because your melt and pour soap might not set at all. The reason I know this is because a long time ago I did actually try to do that, but I was adding real honey, honeycomb rather than honey from the jar, and I think I added too much because it didn't set. If you want to give it a richer colour, add some real cinnamon. Yes, I am using real ground cinnamon in this one, and it's the only thing I can think of that deepens the colour to a rich dark honey colour. I should have added half as much, so about 1/8 of a teaspoonful. As I said before, do not use this on the body, although you can use it on the hands. Take a takeout tray, which is what I'm using here, and a bit of bubble wrap in the bottom. You'll need to cut that to size, and then simply, so simple this one, pour that honey soap into your mould, your makeshift mould. I just sprayed the top with some rubbing alcohol to get rid of most of those bubbles. And then to ensure that I got that lovely honeycomb effect around the whole soap, I actually folded over the honeycomb on the top as well. Now this only took an hour to set. It could take an hour to 2 hours, depending on which soap base you buy, because they're all pretty different. They're similar but different, like time settings and all that type of thing. Setting times can take longer or shorter. So just unmold that. You see how easy melt and pour soap unmolds from a plastic container, and just peel off your bubble wrap, and you're left with a fantastic decoration, honeycomb decoration around the whole of your soap. And cut that into nice usable pieces. The pieces might be better half the size that I did here if they're just for use on the hands, and I can assure you this soap smells absolutely stunning even without fragrance in. I haven't added fragrance to any of the soaps that I'm doing today. Look at that beautiful soap. I really feel like I want to add this to my soap line. Let me know in the comments below if you would like that. Now it's time for the aloe vera soap. Now, don't laugh at my aloe vera. I know if you're in other countries, your aloe vera stems are probably 2 foot long, but here in the UK, this was only about 8 inches. So yeah, but still, even though they were small, there's still a lot of aloe vera gel in each stem. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to remove all of the greenery from the aloe vera. The blossom video, they put the greenery and everything in there, and I didn't think that was a very good idea at all. I really think it'd be a good idea just to make sure you only add the aloe vera gel from the centre. Okay, so just using a pottery tool there, I'm just squashing up the aloe vera gel. You can use a spoon for this, or even a potato masher would be quite good. Now, there are still some little green pieces in here, so I took those out with some tweezers, but there were still some left in. You can see I'm using a whisk to try and blend that down into a liquid as well. which worked very, very well actually, even though you can see the bits splashing out all over the place. We're lucky one didn't hit the camera. So again, we've got some lovely soap chunks all chopped up, and we're going to melt that soap in the microwave. You can use a double boiler as well if you want to. A double boiler is some boiling water in a pan, and then put your soap in another pan on top of that. Now I did add some green colour here because I don't know how they got their green into their soap. Maybe it was the stems, I don't know. So I just wanted an authentic colour, so just pour in 5 to 10% of your aloe vera gel, mix it in, and then pour that into a mould. Simple. So we can't debunk this one either. I thought it might not set, but it actually did. And look at the gorgeous sheen on that soap. It looks absolutely beautiful. That's the shiniest soap I've ever seen, that I've made anyway. So good for your skin as well. And there we are. Right, now it's time for some soap hacks of my own. So we're doing some geode soaps. Now I'm using 6 olive pots. Just small 125ml olive pots these are, and I'm just dividing some melt and pour soap just a little bit into each one. I'm adding radish red, cool pink mica, some gold shimmer, some silver dust, some black gold glitter, and some silver glitter. So I've got 6 different colours here. Now you can make again a geode mould from tin foil, but I actually bought one out of silicone. It was really cheap. I'll put a link to that in the description box below the video. And as you can see, I just take a pipette and I pour the soap around the outer edge. So each colour, separate colour, you're going to need a separate pipette for every colour that you do. And you can see that each colour I'm adding, I'm just pouring it slightly over the colour that I poured just before it, and moving slowly into the centre, colour by colour. Now you can see how quickly that is setting. Adding in that glitter now. And you're going to need some rock salt. Just use ordinary rock salt. Don't use Dead Sea salt because it really does absorb the moisture. Okay, unmoulding those now, and there we have our gorgeous geode soaps. Literally unmoulded that in 15 minutes. Alright, now it's time to make some frothy cocktail soaps. Just take some fresh melt and pour, chop it up into little chunks, and pop those into a plastic martini cup. You can see mine are really cute. If I can find those on Amazon, I'll put a link to them in the description box. So you can see they've got gorgeous gold glitter in. Add a straw, and then what you need to do is you need to make some fresh melt and pour. I'm adding some burlesque mica to this, and as you can see, this time I'm literally just stirring in that mica with a spoon. I love the colour of this one, it's gorgeous, very happy with it. And pour that over all of your lovely make-believe ice cubes. Don't top it right to the top because we need a topping on here as well. Okay, so a little bit of melt and pour again, adding some titanium dioxide, and this is where your frother really comes in. It has 3 different speeds and just frothing it up. I love the sound of it, it's so gorgeous, and it really does froth up that melt and pour very well. And I just thought that would be gorgeous as a topping on top of your cocktail. As soon as you've poured the topping, again remember this isn't real, you can't eat it or drink it, it's soap. And just add some sugar sprinkles to the top, and you've got a really cool, cute gift to give away to your friends. Now it's time to make some crystal soaps. Again, we're using some olive pots, and I'm just adding some different colours to those olive pots. I used ocean blue, white pearl and cool pink. Just give them all a good stir until all that mica's dissolved in properly to the soap. And allow them to set. And just unmold them. Then you're going to chop them all into very small pieces. And you're going to add a cocktail stick to every single one of them. I loved doing this soap. It was so therapeutic. Yeah, a bit time consuming, but well worth the effort. This is the first time I've ever made a crystal soap of this type. So take your silver dip and just dip every single one into that silver soap. I use some polystyrene to stand them up. And literally they're dry in a minute. Now I'm making up some gold. So just some melt and pour again into an olive pot with some gold shimmer mica in there. Stirring that in until it all dissolves. Let it cool down a little bit. You get a better coating on your dip if it's not really hot. So you'll notice mine does have a little skin on the top there. Very thin layer of skin, soap skin. So just again dip all of the pieces into the gold. And practically by the time you're putting it onto the polystyrene, it's about set straight away. That's how quickly it sets. It's so effective and just would make great decorations for the top of a soap. It's beautiful, this mica. So is the silver, but you know how much I love gold. I love the colour of it. It's beautiful. Little bit messy, as you can see. Now pull all of those pieces off and pop them into, again, you can just use any cup whatsoever, just even a regular cup out of your cupboard. Now try to make sure that you haven't got the colours mixed up. I did 3 different colours and I actually did get some of them mixed in with one of the pots. So 3 separate colours there. I'm just popping over some white pearl mica over the top of the pot. And some cool pink. And some ocean blue again. Now really I should have used less. Give it a shake. A cocktail shaker would be great if you have one of those. I don't have one. But I just shook the mica, so trying to coat all of those gold chunks in my cup with the different colours. So there they are. Just leave them like that. I transferred them into a different container because I wanted like a narrower container. The martini glasses were a little bit wide. I took out the pieces that I didn't need because I didn't want them to be overfilled. And then literally the next part is so simple. Just take some clear melt and pour and pour that over the top. There's no need to stir or anything after you've done this. All that mica will drizzle and seep into that melt and pour soap that you've just poured on, and give a really, really cool effect to the soap. I just sprayed a little bit of rubbing alcohol on to get rid of the bubbles, allowed those to set. You can see the mica moving around there in that soap. It's absolutely gorgeous. So allowing those to set, I simply cut off the cup. So you can see I used a little bit too much mica. Next time I'll actually use a little less. Just because you can see on the tray that there's still some mica stuck onto that wooden tray. So they look really cool like that. But I wanted them to look more like crystals, so I'm going to need to trim off some of this soap. So we're starting off with the white pearl first. It was a little difficult chopping them this way, but I did find a better way. And there we have it. Just chopping it down the bottom instead of trying to chop the top off first, standing it upright and slicing it down the sides, and just put chops anywhere you want. And there we've got a really, really cool crystal soap. Of course, all the wasted pieces we can use. Just using a wet wipe to wipe all that mica off there. Again, just found that a little difficult. Turning the soap upright like that and then chopping the sides off this way was so much easier. How pretty. So the silver actually looks blue, that silver dip, but it is silver. I just used a potato peeler. I just tried the potato peeler to take some shreds off, but there really was no need. Just a knife will do. And now for the ocean blue. Absolutely beautiful. I love these. I'm so happy with them. You can see I got a pink one mixed in there, a couple of pinks actually, so I should have sorted them. Oh, there's a white in there as well. So we've got multiple colours in this one. So there we have it. This was our viral soap packs recreation video. Hope you enjoyed it, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share and place a comment down below to win some of these soaps. I'll see you all very, very soon for another video from Eden's Secret. Thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.